Shalom, shalom, everybody. It's your brother Yaakov, Woodrow, whichever one is more clever for you. I answer to them all. This week I'm here to talk about just that humility, being humble. We talked about it before, but came back to my mind, so went back in on it again. So, with that being said, come on, phone, you ain't supposed to be doing that. Making all that noise. Hold on, y'all. Let me mute my device. Well, they say we have sort out many devices. This device over here make things a lot easier, but at the same time, it could be a little noisy. Alright, that should be good. Let's get started. Proverbs 131, a song of degrees of David. Yah, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty. Neither do I exercise myself in great manners or in things too high for me. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul even as a weaned child. Let Israel hope in Yah from henceforth and forever. Let's get the Good News Translation. Yah, I have given up my pride and turned away from arrogance. I am not concerned with great matters or with subjects too difficult for me. Stand in my place. Instead, I am content and at peace as a child lies quietly in its mother's arms. So my heart is quiet within me. Israel, trust in Yah now and forever. What is a weaned child? I wanted to know that. Weaning is when a baby moves from breast milk to other sources of nourishment. Weaning your baby is a process that takes patience and understanding from both you and your child. So it takes process that takes understanding from the Most High, have to be understanding of us, and it takes understanding on our part to get used to the situation for real. And that information comes from an article called "Weaning Your Child for Parents" from a website called Nemours Kids Health. This is Sirach Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 verses 17 through 28. My child, go on with thy business in meekness. So shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before Yah and man. And this is Psalm 138 and 6. To go along with that right there we just read. Though Yah be high, yet hath he respect unto the lowly, but knoweth the proud, he knoweth afar off. Amplified Bible. Though Yah is exalted, he regards the lowly and invites them into his fellowship. He wants them close to him. But the proud and haughty, he knows from a distance. He keeps his distance from those type of people. But he still know what they up to, though. So don't think because he far, he don't got to drop on you, because he definitely got to drop on all of us. Verse 19. Many are in a high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek, the humble. For the power of Yah is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee. We just read that in Psalm. Neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters. I don't be caring about stuff that don't got nothing to do with me or my walk for real. I need to get better at communicating that to people, because I will allow somebody to waste my time and talk to me about a bunch of stuff that I don't care nothing about. But in my mind, I'll be like trying to wait for them to finish so I can get back to the things that's important to me, the things that include my salvation and being right with the Most High. Read that one more time. 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than thou do understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. Without eyes thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked shall heap sin upon sin. Let's keep doing one over top of another one over with another one. Obstinate, see what that means? It's an adjective. It means stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion or chosen course of action, despite attempts to persuade one to do so. Ecclesiasticus 32 and 17. A sinful man will not be reproved or corrected, but findeth an excuse according to his will. But here's a warning from Proverbs 29 and 1. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. New Living Translation. Whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be destroyed beyond recovery. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. Good News Translation. If you get more stubborn every time you are corrected, one day you will be crushed and never recover. So let's not be them stubborn people, man. Not saying you gotta listen to everybody who come to you with a criticism or something that they find wrong, because that way you never get right. Because people always gonna find something wrong, and a lot of times the people who doing all the fault finding be the ones that need to get themselves together, take a look in the mirror and get themselves right before they give advice. But if it's righteous advice and it lines up with the scriptures, that's how you know we should take heed. This is the Good News Translation of what we just read in Sirach. And it's labeled, the title of it says humility, and that's where I got the title for this particular talk. Verse 17. My child, be humble in everything you do, and people will appreciate it more than gifts. Greek, those whom Yah approves will love you. Everybody ain't gonna love you when you try to be humble. Everybody not gonna be a fan of you. Everybody's not gonna praise you for that. But the ones who are approved by the Most High, they will get it. Like what they say, real recognize real. Fake recognize fake too. Fake recognize real too. But as long as the ones that's walking your walk like-minded and trying to get where you're trying to go, as long as they understand it and respect it, that's all you should be worried about. Really, you should be worried about is if the Most High respects it, because sometimes people can be on the same walk as you, but that don't mean that people go different directions to get to the same place. So because they might go this way, you might be going that way. As long as y'all end up at the same place, it's all good. But they not always gonna agree with you. You're not always gonna agree with them. Like you get in a ride with somebody, and you get in the car, and one person might say it's quicker to go this way. Oh man, it's quicker for me when I go that way. As long as y'all get to that same destination, man. I don't take a lot of time trying to understand why this brother do this the way he do it, or this sister do this the way she do it. As long as it line up with scripture, you know. As long as it line up with the word, I don't be too worried about what somebody else doing for real. I try not to be. I try to condition myself to be that way. Say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. I kind of live by that. And also say in another part, seek and make it your business to mind your business. More people need to get them scriptures brought out, man. Come on, y'all. Any preachers looking at me, man. Preach about that one Sunday. Preach about minding your business. There's so many gems in that book that never get brought out, man. This book is chock full from beginning to end of good advice and great life tips. What they say, the basic instructions before leaving Earth. And people just bring out the same ones every week. Every week in and week out. Tackle the rest of that book, y'all. Get in the rest of that book, and that's why it's so important that we read it ourselves and don't wait for somebody else to show you what to say. Because they gonna focus on the parts that they like or the parts that speak to them. Whole nother parts might be still waiting to be discovered by you that resonate with you in your life. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. And for the people that can dance, y'all like when that song come on at the weddings. Get in there. We talking about not getting in what they talking about in that song. That words just came to my mind, but get in here. This is verse 18. The greater you become, the more humble you should be. Then God will be pleased with you. Many are exalted and esteemed, but the Most High secrets are revealed to the humble. Like I said, he know the humble up close, but the prideful, he know them from a far distance. He ain't letting them know his secrets. The humble ones, the ones he call close to him and let them know what's going on. For real. The Hebrew says, Elohim's mercy is great, and he reveals his secrets to those who are humble. Verse 20. Yah's power is great, and he is honored by those who are humble. Don't try to understand things that are too hard for you. I sure don't. Or to investigate matters that are beyond your power to know. Concentrate on the law, which has been given to you. Get in them books and learn the laws of them Heavenly Father. Like we know these songs and we know these trends and dances and know what's going on with this celebrity and this person and that person. Like we know everybody's business around us. Let's know the business that really had something to do with us. The law, statutes, and commandments of our Heavenly Father. Let me look at y'all and say that. Let me not look down at this paper. We need to prioritize for real, for real. Let me get back into this. You do not need to know about things that Yah has not revealed. So don't concern yourself with them. After all, what has been shown to you is beyond human power to understand. Some things we understand. Other people, we say them things to other people, and they look at us like we got 8 heads. And we got another head growing out the middle of our head while we talking. And then us, or you put something up, and everybody's like, deep, deep. I'm like, what's deep about it? It's in black and white right here on the page. But that's the fact that we understand and other people might not. That might be saying that the Most High has given us a mercy, given us some grace that other people don't have. So instead of getting mad at the people who don't get it, we should be thankful to the Most High for giving us that understanding for real. This is verse 24. Many people have been misled by their own opinions. Their wrong ideas have warped their judgment. Boy, don't I know about that. And boy, sometimes it was me with the wrong ideas. So I can't even get on nobody else too hard. It works both ways, you know. Part of being humble is knowing that sometimes you the problem. Sometimes it ain't somebody else. But I digress. Some Greek manuscripts add the verse 25. If you have no eyes, you cannot see. Don't claim to have knowledge if you don't have it. Hebrew has after verse 27. If you have no eyes, you cannot see. If you have no knowledge, you cannot have wisdom. Verse 26. Stubbornness will get you into trouble at the end. If you live dangerously, it will kill you. That sounds like he either live by the sword or die by the sword. It's another cautionary one. Let's read that again, verse 26. Stubbornness will get you into trouble at the end. If you live dangerously, it will kill you. Verse 27. A stubborn person will be burdened down with troubles. Sinners go on, adding one sin to another. Let's keep on going, like we said when we was reading out the King James Version. Don't even think about it. Just doing more and more stuff. Just letting them bad deeds pile up. And then when something happened to them, they wonder why. Why me? Out of all people, why this happened to me? I just can't catch a break. Because you ain't giving nobody else a break. You ever think of that? This is verse 28. There is no cure for the troubles that arrogant people have. Wickedness has taken deep root in them. 29. Intelligent people will learn from proverbs and parables. They will listen well because they want to learn. You gotta want to learn to be able to learn. You got to dedicate yourself to stuff. You gotta sit down and listen sometimes instead of doing everything else. Slow down every once in a while. Learn something, will you? This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verses 4 and 5. Seek not of Yah preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor. Justify not thyself before Yah, and boast not of thy wisdom before the king. Good News Translation. Don't ask Yah for a place of honor, or ask the king for an important position. Don't try to convince Yah that you are righteous or make a show of your wisdom before the king. People always want to be important. And then when they get that spot, I've seen a lot of people turns of lament and interviews and speaking about how they wish they could just do the things that regular people do. How they wish they could just go in the store and not be chased by a whole bunch of people and get their shopping done, or how they just a target for a whole bunch of ridicule and stuff like that. But sometimes you gotta be careful what you're signing up for and what you're asking for. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus. Not to say that nobody is supposed to be in them positions, but the ones that's supposed to be there, the Most High will put them there. You ain't got to try to do it. You can just be living life, and if he got that for you to do, he will place it on your heart and he will make it happen. You ain't got to sweat yourself making it happen. This is Sirach Ecclesiasticus, still in the same book. One of my favorites right here out of the good old Apocrypha. This is chapter 32, verses 9 and 10. If thou be among great men, showing you how to be humble when you're around like great important people. If thou be among great men, make not thyself an equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, older men, do not use many words. Use not many words. Before the thunder goeth lightning, and before a shamefaced man shall go favor. People always talking about shame and shaming is bad. You shouldn't shame this, you shouldn't shame that. Some people need a little shame. When you too arrogant and think too highly of yourself, you need that little humbling to bring you back to earth and bring you back to reality. Let's get the Good News Translation. Oh, did I finish? Before a shamefaced man shall go favor. This is Good News Translation. Don't treat important people as if you were their equal. Like some people will meet a celebrity and they just got to show that that person got on the watch. They got to show they watch that they got the same one, or they doing this, they car, they got to show they got the same. And the crazy thing about it, I learned from experience, some of them people probably laughing at you when you do that, because I heard various celebrities do interviews and say that they diamonds, that what we thought was diamonds, was glass, or any other thing. I heard stories of celebrities getting a high-end car, and the body style of one car in by that same company is the same as the body style to another one, and the only difference is the size of the motor, stuff that you ain't gonna see, and people ain't going around lifting up their hoods to show their motors. Well, people that really love cars, but not everybody. But these people laughing at you because you really spend all that money, and they don't even got that on. You stupid, because you ain't got nowhere near as much money as me, and I wouldn't even spend that money on that. But you spend it, okay, that's what's up. They probably pumping you up, and they ain't mine. They like, this dummy. Well, I got this for free. You really spent your money on that? Goodness, I know that they probably like, ow, ouch, I know that hit hard. So just don't go around trying to show you equal with nobody, because everybody's different at the end of the day. And where's the next part? Let me start again. Don't treat important people as if you were their equal. And also, like, people did supposed to be living a gangster life or whatever. Like, sometimes I met real people who have met some of those supposed to be people portraying a gangster life they living, and people was really scared of them. They wouldn't even shake their hand or wouldn't even roll down their window because they really was scared, because these people was really living that life. So you don't even know how somebody is to try to make yourself like you equal to them. You might be further along in what you doing and what they doing. Not saying that it's good to be a gangster or none of that stuff, but just don't never think you equal to nobody unless you know that person. The same with friends. Like I say in another verse, like if you have a friend, test them first. Don't just call everybody your friend. Don't say everybody is this way, everybody is that way, unless you know them, sure enough. But getting back to the book, don't treat important people as if you were their equal. And don't make a nuisance of yourself by asking them a list of questions. Don't talk people to death, man. I mean, anybody I've met, most of the time people like, how was this person? How was that person? Because I have a lot of photos, and I'm big on photos because my dad used to have a Polaroid camera, and he used to take pictures of us like all the time around the house. I got my uncle Romy, who just passed away. I used to love to visit his house just to read his photo album, because he got all these pictures of us through all stages of growing up and stuff like that. Like, good memories. So I'm just big on photos. So I might have a photo with somebody. People like, how was this person? How was that person? I'm like, to be totally honest, I couldn't tell you. I just caught them standing in my close proximity, so I got somebody who was cool with me to come over with my camera and say, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, ma'am, is it okay if I take a picture with you? And they took the picture, and I went on about my business and let them be. That was always my practice. But then when you see it in the book, kind of like confirmation, I did it right. Not saying that sometimes you can't make a relationship with somebody, but sometimes when depending on the situation, depending on where you at and what else is going on, if that person got 100 other people wanting to take a picture too, you can't be selfish and hold the line up because you want to stand there and chip chat with them, But yeah, I just get my picture and keep it moving. I never try to talk people to death and ask a lot of questions. If they engage in conversation with me, which happened once in a while, then I surely will answer them back and oblige them if they wanted to continue the conversation. But it was never my idea just to keep on chipping and chapping and rapping with people that I know have other stuff to do. This is the Greek says, and don't keep talking when someone is speaking. And let's get the definition of nuisance. That was a word my mother used to love to use when we was getting on her nerves. Yeah, nuisance. She uses it a lot, but it really is a serious thing. It said one that is annoying, unpleasant, or obnoxious. A pest. That was another one of her words. Just a pest. And that got that from the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Verse 10. The reputation of a modest person goes before them as lightning before thunder. So your reputation precedes you. I'm sure everybody's heard that before. Sirach Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verses 7 through 9. Pride is hateful before Elohim and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and richness got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous or greedy man. For such an one setteth his own soul to sell. He sell his own soul. That's pretty clear. You hear people say that all the time, but it's let you know it's nothing new. That's right here in the scriptures. That's the Rock Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 9. Because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. I don't even want to say what that sound like, but you read in between the lines. This is the Good News translation. There's a little kind of where they left out certain parts, but let's just read what they put. We are only dust and ashes. What have we to be proud of? I ask that all the time. Our body decays even while we are alive. A long illness puzzles the doctor. Even a king may be alive today and dead tomorrow. We see it happen to celebrities all the time. A person that wasn't even sick before that, and they just pass away mysteriously, and nobody got any answers, or the answers that they do give don't make no sense. Verse 11. When a person dies, all he then possesses is worms, flies, and maggots. Pride has its beginning when a person abandons Yah, his maker. People think they even bigger than the Most High, man. They feel like they ain't got no need for him because they just so high up their own self, or they so important their own self. Verse 13. Pride is like a fountain pouring out sin, and whoever persists in it will be full of wickedness. A proud person is just naturally going to be wicked because they lawless. They feel like they could do whatever they want to do, especially when they get away with a couple things. But it's always that day of reckoning, though. That is why Yah brought terrible punishments on some people and completely destroyed them. Verse 14. Yah has overthrown kings and put humbler people in their place. So sometimes it ain't about how talented you are. Sometimes it's not about how good at doing something you are, but it's just your attitude. But people want to deal with you. People want to engage with you. When people feel like they can't, they like, ew. You know, some people, as twisted as this world is now, some people would love a person to act like that. And even be turned on, like, sexually by somebody who just got nasty attitude. For real. This world is upside down, but we seeing how the Most High feel about it right here. And there still is people in the world, believe it or not, some remnant of people that still do things according to the way that the Most High would have them to do it, or at least trying to the best of their abilities. I like to think I'm one of them. I'm trying. This is verse 15. Yah has pulled up nations by the roots and established humbler ones in their place. Number 16. Yah has overthrown empires and completely devastated their land. He destroyed some so completely that they are not even remembered anymore. Wow, that's serious. I remember a person when I was starting back in the day with my endeavor that I used to do. And the manager used to always say, man, there's some people in the basement right now that's practicing and just waiting for their opportunity, and they going to be ready, and they going to take y'all spot if y'all don't work hard. And yes, working hard is a thing to be respected. But One thing that nobody never brought into the picture is what I'm bringing here right now. Somebody humbler might take your spot. They might not even be more talented. They just might be humbler, more likable, a better human being at the end of the day. They might be the one to take that spot. And you might look at them like, yo, they can't even do X, Y, and Z like how I could do it, yo. Yeah, but people like them. They not no asshole. They not out here treating people like garbage. You feel me? And ass is in the Bible. So don't nobody get alarmed because I said ass. But yeah, I meant what I said. You heard what I said. Back to the scriptures. This is verse 16. God has overthrown empires and completely devastated their lands. Verse 17, he destroyed some so completely that they are not even remembered anymore. Verse 18, the Creator never intended for human beings to be arrogant and violent. So, with that being said, calm yourselves down, be humble, don't be arrogant, don't be quick to be violent. And I love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Most High bless and keep y'all. Till we meet again. Shalom, shalom.